Heart for Turd podcast, episode 136, Lamar. It's Shark Week.
You know, usually, Joe, we do the the shark versus, we have three films, but boy, oh boy, we have to give a shout out to Tubi for letting us just like search random things, and we put in shark, and we got the movie Post Apocalyptic Commando Shark.
And the best title ever.
What else? There was no other shark movie. We just look at this one and see if it quenches our thirst for Shark Week, Joe. And
Well,
yeah,
it does have a shark in it, so it counts for Shark Week. So we're going to talk about the movie and rate it with categories.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's get into it. The story. What's this thing about?
Okay. So apparently, in the continuing Russia versus America, Russia finally invades America.
Yep.
And they, all of a sudden, for no real apparent reason, which is an issue, they create a shark commando.
Half human, half shark.
Why?
Why not? Is the better question.
Yes, that's because I thought this movie was going to be like the shark commando was going to be for America. Like, you know what I mean? Like he was going to save us from the Russians, but no, it was a twist.
Yeah, he was the villain.
Yeah, I thought you would use the shark. Well, I guess the shark is always bad, but I thought it would be cool. You know, the American shark commando hero. See, I made a song just right there. Yeah.
Yep, and then the rebels, the American rebels, have to fight against the Russians and take them down, militias or whatever. For story, I'm actually going to give it 1 point. It's a good idea of a story.
Yeah, I feel like it wars well. I'll say this: they sold me on the commando shark.
Yes,
they sold me on that.
Also, we have to mention there was a scientist for the U.S. side that was trying to counter this by creating like a half dog person, I guess. Like dog soldier.
Dog soldier. I'll give it a 0.5 because it kind of wore its welcome in the story, because I feel like it got repetitive. That's how I feel. Yeah.
Well, that actually leads into how I feel about the next category, which is comedy. Now, there was parts of this movie that made me laugh a lot. I thought there was some funny stuff for sure. But to go off what you just said, I thought like when you have a gag like this where it's a gimmick movie, you got to move it along. You can't hang on anything for too long. And that was a big problem for them. This movie could have been like 20 to 30 minutes shorter.
Yes.
And it would have hit you and you would have been like, oh, okay, that was funny.
Or like a nice, cool little trailer that sometimes we see. Yeah, I agree. Like there were some good shark puns, but they were few and far in between. And then and then I will say this, like if these are the American rebels, boy, oh boy, I see how people think of us. Because that part too wasn't as funny. So the shark part was kind of funny, and then the rebel stuff, it was like,
it was. I thought the rebel stuff was funny, but it went too long. It lasted too long. You could move it along, and like I said, you'd have got it. So for comedy, I'm giving it a 0.5 point because it did have funny stuff.
Agreed. You got to tighten those jokes up.
Okay. Well, what's our next category, sir?
Shark content. This is once again like we're going to talk about the Gimmick later.
Okay.
Let's just get this out the way. The history of the shark movies that we have watched.
Mm-hmm.
The sharks really don't do shark things. They're never in the water. Well, half of the time they're in the water, but they're in the wrong water, or they're like flying through the air or some other crazy stuff. But they're still monstrous, sharks.
Yeah.
They're scary.
Yeah.
These sharks, we'll get into effects, were kind of just goofy clone soldiers, I guess. like I said, I wanted more of like a shark commando that was leading us. You know what I'm saying?
So you felt like the shark was half human, half shark, but you felt it was too human. It wasn't sharky enough.
Yeah, it wasn't sharky enough. I mean, he's shooting guns and stuff like that. It didn't have like superpowers and nothing.
He did bite people. He was eating
That's
people.
it. I want more. I want more from a shark.
So more of him like creeping on people in the water.
Or going through the water or something, or like they all fall in the water. It's like, and then.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you rate it?
A 0.5. I think I'm going down the list here.
Yeah, I'm gonna do 0.5 as well. It was funny. The gimmick of it was funny, but it was like you didn't get enough of shark stuff.
Yes.
But one thing you did get plenty of, Lamar, was special effects.
Okay. Maybe I'll say this. These were so good, it's funny. Because there was one time when a person's intestines like exploded, and it's clearly not intestines. It's so bad. Yeah. The shark mouth doesn't move at all.
Well, we have to talk about the shark itself, Lamar.
Go ahead.
What was it, like a paper mache? Like what the hell was it made out of?
I think it was paper mache. They had to have the little thing so the person that was wearing it. Yeah, it has a very B movie-esque charm to it, cheap charm,
which is what drew us to the movie. Let's face it, and that it was funny. I did like that.
Yes.
So just because of the absurdity of it, I have to give it at 1 point.
I will agree. I will give that will be my 1. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we go into the last category, Lamar. Gimmick.
Not enough shark commando. Like I said, man, have them like, push people in the water and then, go, eat people crazy, I don't know, green screen effects of them like getting bit and stuff like that. More carnage from the shark. Like they had shark jokes, but more from the shark. Like I wanted shark stuff. I feel like they dropped the ball on the shark gimmick.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's like you have a great title.
Yeah.
You have a goofy looking creature. So it's like you need to play this up as much as possible. And they hinted at the whole guy trying to create like to counter the shark. He was creating like a dog person. And that didn't really go anywhere. It went somewhere, but not enough.
Yes.
Because that could have been another goofy thing, like a big battle, like dog man versus shark man. Mm-hmm. So I like the gimmick. I don't think they capitalized on it enough. So I'm going to give it a 0.5 point.
I'm giving it a 0.
Oh, wow.
If you have a shark commando, do more sharkish things. I mean, bad CGI sharks.
Yeah.
They did more. They swam through the fucking air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sir, the total score on the average for a perfect Turd rating of 3 out of 5 on this movie. Okay.
Yeah. I will rewrite this movie, Joe.
Okay. I like this. Go ahead.
The Russians finally invade, America and everything like that. And they find out that, there's nothing that can stop them. Mm-hmm. So what happens is that you have somebody that's trying to make a super soldier, but he also has like a shark in a tube somewhere or in a pool. Mm-hmm. And it's the classic. He's trying to make a super soldier. He injects himself. Then he falls into the tank with the shark. They merge together, and it's Shark Commando. And then he's leading the people. But then he has to work with a person that his friend was eaten by a shark. So then they have to work together. So they have to build a respect with each other. And then they, have to fight the Russians. But then the Russians, they make their own commando shark. And then you have a shark like collision. It's a fight. And then you add a little bit of like, his partner who didn't like sharks and everything like that. He's anti-shark. He learns to respect him because he doesn't see him as a shark, Joe. He sees him as a person. Then that's what America is about, I guess. I'd watch it.
I don't know. That sounds almost too serious. This movie.
Oh well, there'll be some goofy stuff. Like my idea would be like, you know, at the end of the movie, they trap them all in a pool, and then like the shark jumps in and he's just Russians. Not that we have anything against Russians, but I guess that's the gimmick now, you know. Yeah.
There's some stuff in there. I like how the guy falls into the thing and becomes part shark because of that.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What happens if, like, to fix our relationship with Russia, they decided to, like, send sharks back in time to the Cold War, and that's when, like, the guy, like, goes into the time machine at the same time, and that's how he messes with.
You're just throwing that fucking time shit just to piss me off. No, Joe. God
in the time machine, because when you go back in time, your particles break apart. So when they go on to get out the other end, that's when he turns into a shark commando, and that turns the Cold War.
Well, that would be cool. It'd be back in the 80s and shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I'll give you that time travel. That one. I like that. Yes. So you'd be a shark commando of the 80s. Right. Shambo.
Shambo.
Hit us up, Tubi. We got a banger. Oh, we got
I like
a banger.
That one.
Shambo.
Shambo.
Yeah. Shambo. I like it. Give us $1 million to make that movie. I can see it now.
$1 million?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're not gonna give us like, you know, 20 million. Make that shit.
Yeah. We'll make it for 5 and keep the rest for ourselves. 5,000. Well,
they don't need to know that.
There you go. Does that wrap this one up?
Yes. Post-apocalyptic commando shark. But we really want to pitch our idea of Shambo. So yeah, I like
it.
One. Yes.
All right. Peace.
Deuces.